Hello Roberto. So we are going to design this in a two-part series where the first one will make the 3D models and make the assembly, and then the next one will make the drawing. So to start, we're just going to start going in the order 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So to start, start a new part file, click OK, and I will change my units because my units are in inches. I'll change it to millimeters, and also change my image quality and click OK. So now the first thing you need to know is that you want to design this in the same view as they have the assembly up here. So for the first part, we need to figure out on what plane we want to draw that. So I'll just click this sketch, and that gives me all my planes. And if you look, the front plane is the one going in the same direction as this, so we'll click the front plane. So that's where we'll draw our first sketch. So what we want to do is draw a midpoint line starting at the origin point. Just draw it going out and draw something like this. So once you have that, click OK and change this to a construction line, and we'll start adding our dimension. The dimension for this is 244, so we'll make this 244. Click OK, and the dimension from here to here is 20, the diameter, so make that 20, and I'm going to drag this up, and the dimension from here to there is 64. We'll make that 64, and the dimension from here to here is going to be 12. We're just going to make it 12 because it's a 12 M12 175, so we're going to make that 12. And our sketch is fully defined. Then we go to feature, revolve. It's asking you, it's going to put a solid line there, yes, and this is what it looks like, and click OK. So we have that part, and it has a chamfer 2x2. It's like distance chamfer, so we can add that now. But before we add that, it also has a metric thread over here, and instead of doing the designing the threads, you don't need to design the threads since you're just making the drawing. So what we are going to do is just use a cosmetic thread. So what we're going to do is going to insert down here to annotations, cosmetic thread, and while this is selected, you want to make sure this is metric, machine threads, and you go down and find the 12 by 0.75. It should be somewhere over right here, 12 by 1.75. Click that, and for the distance blind, and you want to enter this dimension 35. So it's 35. We're going to enter 35 in there, and everything is right. Then for this we are going to select this edge. So make sure again that change, let's change it back to 12.175, 35, distance, everything looks right, and click OK. So there you go, we have that thread in there, and now we can add our chamfer. So click the chamfer, and the distance, like I said, is a distance chamfer, so you click on the distance, and change this to 2, and also change this to 2, and you're just going to select up here this top edge and this bottom edge, and click OK. Good. So now we have that. The only thing we need to do is we can add this detail, this knock detail, we can add that. So how to do that is click this face and sketch, let's number 2, and I'm just going to select this top edge, and I'm going to convert entity, and once that sketch is converted, then I'm going to go to feature, this curves, helix, then what you want to do is select the height and revolution, constant speed, constant pitch. The height is going to be 46, so you're going to make that 46, and the revolution is going to be 0.5, and the start angle is going to be 30, I mean not 30, 90, and click OK. So that's done. We have that. And click on that face again and sketch normal 2, and just draw like a triangle, something like this, and click holding the control key, click those 3 lines and make them equal to each other. Good. Then you select a point and just put a point at the midpoint of that top line. Then we'll add a dimension here. It's something coming down, and make it 1. And now let's click that point and just move your part so you can see. Click that point and holding the control key, click your helix, and this option should come up, and just pierce that point to that helix. Good. So once that is done, everything is fully defined. What you need to do is go to your feature, sweep cut, your profile, and you're going to sweep it around the part. So I'm not sure, so you can see, there you go, and click OK. And once we have that, now we want to circular pattern it. So come down, circular pattern on this top reverse direction, click this edge, any circular edge, you can click this one, it doesn't matter too. And the number of patterns we are going to do for this one, 20. And the feature we are going to pattern, you can click this feature over here and it's going to select it, or you can click it from this drop down. So once you select it, you should see that preview and click OK, and there you go. And I'm just going to hide my helix. I'm going to hide it because I don't need it anymore. So what we need to do now is come to this reference geometry plane, and you want to select your first reference plane and reverse it. And because the distance is 46, we want half of that. So the half of that will be 23. And click OK. So what we are going to do now is select mirror, the plane you want to use to mirror that new plane you just created, and the feature you want to mirror, and you can use this drop down and click this circular pattern and click OK. And it should take, hopefully it doesn't take too long. Please bear with me. And there you go. And you can hide that plane, and let me fire that and there you go, we have the first part done. I'm trying to zoom it in so you can see we have the first part done. So what you can do is save it. Make sure I'll save it somewhere on my desktop. Save it in a folder, create a project folder and just save it in it, and save it as where is the number 1? Right here, handle. You can save it as a handle, all caps, handle CRS-FAO. So handle CRS-FAO and save it as that. Okay, good. So we are moving on to the next one. This part is done. And the next one, new part, file, open, and again we're probably gonna, for me, I'm going to have to change my units to metric, and I'll also change my image quality and click OK. For this part, again we'll click on the sketch, and we have all of our plane. The way we are going to be designing this, because this is facing this way, how we are going to design it, we are going to be starting that design on the right plane. So select the right plane as your sketch plane and draw a circle, and draw a line from the quadrant to the other quadrant, and the line should also be at the origin point, coincident with the origin point. Trim this circle. I'm using trim to closest, so I'm just going to click this bottom one and trim it off, and I'm going to add a dimension to this, and the radius for that is 32. If you look over here, it's 32, so make that 32. And now go to your feature, extrude. We are extruding it forward, and the distance is 3, so make that 3 and click OK. Click on this front plane, sketch, number 2, and you want to draw another circle starting at the origin point, and draw a line from here to here, and trim the bottom part out. And the radius for that is, see over here they are giving you a diameter, but that's actually a wrong way to dimension something, because if you don't have the entire circle, if you only have half of the circle, it should be a radius. So the radius for that will be is 32, so that will be 16. So the diameter, they're giving you a 32 diameter, so that means it's a 16 radius, or you can do 32 divided by 2, which is 16. So you have that, which is this feature, and go back to your feature. We're extruding it, and this time the entire length is 32, and we already did 32 minus 3, 29. So 32 minus 3, 29, and click OK. So we have that second feature. Again, click on this face, sketch, number 2, and draw your circle, and draw a line from here to here, and trim, and add your radius. Your radius is right here, 6. I mean your dimension is that your dimension, which is, let me escape, dimension, which is 6, and feature, extrude cut up to next, and click OK. And we have that bottom part cut. So the next thing we need to do is add our fillet to this edge, and your fillet size is 10 right there, radius 10. Click OK. And now the next thing we need to do is click this face, sketch, number 2. So what we want to do is draw, just draw 4 lines like a box, something like this, right? Something coming down, and you have to connect this 4. So you have a box, right? I would take a point, and if you hover over this line, it should give you the midpoint of that line with this little orange thing, or you can just put the point over here, click the point, click the line, hold while you're holding the control key, and select the midpoint option, and it should do the same thing. So we are going to make that point and the origin point, that point and the origin point vertical. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to center this box around that origin point. So good, we have that. And if you look down here, from the center point of that circle to the top edge of that is 3. So we're going to add that dimension from this point to that point is 3. And this point is also coincident with that, which is right here. You just gotta think about how the drawing looks. So 3 and this point, this 3 point is coincident with that part at the 3 point. So let me not over there, is coincident with this edge, because if you look at it, this edge is going back that way. So if you look, it's more apparent over here. So let me show you what it looks like. So we have our 3 dimension, and that point is coincident with this surface. You'll see what we're doing once we finish this feature. So once you make that coincident, and all we just need to do is fully define our sketch and make it 30. As long as this is sticking out, that's what you want. So go back to your feature, extrude cut, and you want to flip flip side to cut and change it to true all and click OK. And there you go, and you have that feature and it's complete. So now just save it, and that's done. I think that's everything. Yes, save it, and you want to save it as part 2, which is flange dash FAO CRS, and save. And that's done. So we are moving on to part 3, which is this part. New part. I'm going to change my image quality. Please excuse my phone. I'm going to change my image quality to change my dimensions first to millimeter, and also change my image quality somewhere right here, and click OK. And again, the same step. If you don't know what plane to start on, just select sketch without selecting any plane. It gives you all your plane. This part is pointing this way, so you want to start that on the right plane. And this is pretty simple part to design. You get create two circles and add your dimension. The first one is 44 and the second one is 35. Is it 35 or 33? I can't really. Let me zoom in. It is 30. It's 33. So 33. And feature extrude. This one, let's extrude it by the mid plane, and the distance is 10. So we have that. Good. So we can select this back face, sketch, number 2, and select this top edge and convert entity, and you want to make that a helix, because what we are doing now is we are making that pattern, and the helix. And again, height and revolution constant. For the height, we want to make that 10, and for the revolution, we want to make that 0.125, and it's 90, and click OK. So again, we click this face again, sketch, number 2, and we are going to draw 3 lines again, something going like that. Holding the control key, select all those lines, make them equal to each other, add a dimension of 1, and you can put like a point on the midpoint of that top line, and select that point, and you have to like kind of zoom this, move this down a little bit so you can see your helix. Select your helix and pierce it. It's good. So we have that. We have our sketch is fully defined. Exit out, and exit out. Now we are going to sweep this. So go to your sweep cut, sweep it. You select your profile is the sketch, and your pattern is the helix, and click OK. So that part is done. Now what we want to do is circular pattern, and select this perimeter, select this top edge. Just any circular edge, you can select this one too. And the number of pattern we want for this one, let's try 35. And the feature we want to pattern, let's just select this feature, and it should come on in a minute. There you go. Click OK. And I'm just going to hide my helix because I don't need it. And now what we need to do is mirror this over. So the reason why we extruded this by the mid plane is because now we can use that plane we already have to mirror it, so we don't have to create another plane. So we select mirror, and we want to mirror it about, let's find, I think it's the right plane. Yes, the right plane. And the feature we want to mirror is the circular pattern. Let me zoom in so you can see what's going on, and click OK. And it might take some time, but hopefully it doesn't take too long. Good. So yes, we have that part, and you have your pattern on it, and that is that. Save, and save that as the diamond DP diamond. No, so and that's part 3, right? Yes. So I think it's 96 DP DIA MOND K and URL. I'm a slow typer, excuse me. So we have that, click OK, and that's done. The next thing we need to create is the washer. So new part, change your units if you are not in millimeter. Image quality, move that forward a little bit. Okay. Again, I'm going to select the sketch because I think it's sketch, and on the right plane is where we are going to be drawing that, and 2 circles in each other, and the first one is 38 and the second one is 14, and we are going to extrude it 3. We can extrude it in the mid plane, it doesn't really matter. 3. I always like extruding stuff in the mid plane so everything is symmetrical, and click OK. And we have that, and save it, and that is done. That's the easiest part of it. Save it as the bearing washer, so it is bearing washer 1.1020 steel dash FAO, and that's it, and save. So we have pretty much all of our part done. The only thing we need is the washer. They didn't really give you the dimension for the washer, but they told you what type of washer it, I mean not washer, I'm sorry, the X nut. They told you what type of X nut it is. So for the part 5 is the X nut still, and we know it's going into a thread of 12.175. So according to my research, I found the dimensions for it, and this is what it looks like. So we are going to use this dimension. So if we go down to the 12 M12 1.75, we see that all we need is the F. The F is where is it? 17 point, let me write it down so I don't forget. 17.73, and the H is, we can use anyone, it has the max and the mean, so we are just going to use this. Let me see what the mean is. So I'm looking at this, the mean is 10.37, and that's all we need. So I'm just going to close this drawing, start a new part. Okay, and again we are going to, let me click on my plane. On the right plane, I'm going to go to the polygon. You want a 6 side inscribed circle, and just draw something like this. And from the dimensions we looked at, from here to here is 17.73, and make sure this point and the origin point is vertical to each other, and there you go, our sketch is fully defined. Feature, extrude by the mid plane, and we are going to extrude it 10.37, and click OK. So we have that part done. Click for now, show your sketch for this for the first feature, and click this top face, select sketch, and now select this sketch and convert entity, convert it to this top face, and now we can hide that sketch because we don't need it anymore. Exit the sketch too. So now we are going to go on the front plane, which is the plane going this way, and sketch, and with number 2, and which side did I drew it on this side. So now just draw a line somewhere over here, just something like this, and this is from here to here is going to be 30, and just move it somewhat like this point and that sketch you made, pierce them together. So click the point, hold the control key, click that sketch, pierce, and now what we need to do is just add a dimension over here just to fully define our sketch. So make it 3, or you can make it 2.5, it doesn't matter. So as long as it's sticking out, and exit. And now we are just going to go to feature, sweep cut, we have our profile, the part, okay, and you get that bendy thing on the nut. So the next thing we need to do is just mirror that over. So mirror, we need to select the plane, it's about the right plane, feature to mirror the cut feature, sweep cut, and okay. And now all we need to do is the top face, sketch, number 2, and draw a circle, add a dimension to it, make it 12.1, 12.02 or something like that. So it's a little bit bigger than this because it's like we made this 12, so make that a little bit bigger, and just extrude cut, feature up to next, and click OK, and just save it. That part is done. Save it as X nut steel. Cool. So now everything is done. We have all of our part. So what we need to do is create our assembly. First thing is with save, open a new part file, open a new assembly file. So we have all of our part. The first one we want to bring in is this part 2, which is you can bring in this first one first, but I'm going to fully define this part, which is the color. So I'm going to look for that. Where is it? Did I make it, or did I save it as something else? Let me see. I don't think I saved it. Oh, I did. I saved it as a flange. Oh yes. So where did I save this one? I think I messed up somewhere. Oh, I saved this as a wrong file. This should have been a color, but I saved it. It should have been a color. I saved it as the diamond thing, but it's okay. Okay. All right. So bring your flange in, and I'm just going to. Once I bring it in, I'm just going to click OK. I'm going to hold this pin and click OK just to drop it in there. So the first part I drop is fully defined, and I'm just going to click somewhere because I need 2 of that, and then I'm going to go, I need 1 of this, the washer, I need 1 of the washer. I already had the flange, the handle, I need 1 of that, and the X nut I need 1. Why is this X nut so big? What did I do? I think I might have messed up somewhere. Let me go back and verify my dimension. Oh, for my dimension I think I didn't change my units. That is what I did wrong. Yes, my units are in inches, and please bear in mind, sorry, I forgot to change my dimensions for this, so let's just do it. Change it to metric, and now and it's good that I made this mistake, so I can use that as an opportunity to teach you something else, how to correct a drawing. So I'm going to pull this back up, and I'm just going to go through that feature one by one again. Wow, 450. So that should be 17.73. As you can see, it's way smaller now. And exit out of it. So the reason why I pulled this up is because if I change it and I don't pull it up, everything is just going to break. So I'm just going to fix it feature by feature. And the next one is my extrude should be my sketch. I can correct this sketch too. Everything is right, but the 63 is too much. Let's make that 30. Even 30 is too much. 10. Even 10 is too much. 5. Okay. And I'm just going to drop this down and exit out of that. And now my extrude. Oh, on this boss feature, my extrude boss, I need to change the distance. The distance is going to be 10.37. So 10.37, and click OK. I hope you're still following me, and I apologize that I made that mistake earlier. Now everything looks right. I'm going to roll that down. Good. My extrude cut is broken, as you can see. I'm going to fix the sketch. Exit out of that. Edit the sketch, and as you can see, my sketch is way out, and my sketch should be I said 12.01. Good. So it's somewhere in there. 12.01. Good. Exit out, and everything should fix itself. And there you go, we have that done. And save it. And when I go back to my assembly now, and I'm going to insert component, add the X nut, everything is to the same size. Okay. So the part that I added first that is fully defined is this, and you can tell by the F next to it, meaning it's fixed. So now all we need to do is just start making our assembly. I'm going to click this face and click that face. I'm holding the control key to select both together, mate, and you want a concentric mate. Click OK. And this face, according to, if I'm looking at this assembly, this face is coincident with this back face. So you make that, and good. And this, we want to rotate it up. So if you use the right click and hold it, you can rotate it upside down, and you can just drag it somewhere here. Click this face. I'm still in my mate feature, and click this face and mate it together. And again, concentric. And my drawing is in the way, so let me minimize it for a little bit. Click OK. And again, you want to click this face, and you can click this face now, it doesn't really matter, or you can click the back face of this and mate those two together. So we need one more mate. So now what we can do is mate this edge and this edge together, so that way it's both defined. Good. So the next thing we need to do is, I'm not really sure where all this stuff is going. I'm only going by what they are showing here. So this face and this face, I'm not even sure if I had a concentric to that, because that should have made properly. Oh, I think I did. So this face and this face, mate those two together, and just drag this out. And for now, let's just mate this to this back face and click OK. And again, we'll do the same thing for the washer. Mate it to that face. Okay. Pull it out and make this back face to this face and click OK. And for the nut, we are going to do the same thing. This face and that face, and this side to this face, and click OK. And there you go, we have the entire assembly, and I can click OK here. We have the entire assembly and it's done. Let me move it to the side so you can see what it looks like. And it is done. And what you can do now is, if you want to add material, you can start adding like your appearance and metal, steel. For the first one, we can do carbon steel for this, and you want to add it to the flange itself, not on the assembly but the flange, so you add it to the part level too. And you can add like a carbon steel to this, and so on. You can just add your appearance for that. And one thing you can also do, for the future when you make the drawing, is you can create an exploded view of this. So what you're going to do is click this exploded view and just start selecting the part. And once you select the part, it gives you this gizmo, and all you just do is drag it out. So we're going to drag this out. We're going to select this washer, drag it out, something like that. Select this color, drag it, select this, and you can pull that up. Select this and you can pull it down and click OK. So we have the whole part exploded. And if I go to like my isometric view, that is what it looks like. So I'm giving you something like this, but except I'm exploding it further so you can see it more better. And if you want to switch back to the old view, you just come back here. Your exploded view is right here. Double click, right click on it and select collapse, and it takes you back to the previous view. And if you right click, explode, and it gives you the explode view. And you can always edit this exploded view. You can edit it or delete it, and that is it. So that's how you do the feature and the assembly. Hopefully I've been able to explain it very well. Thank you, and in the next part I'll be making the drawings for it. Thank you. Bye.